Hey guys, how y'all doing? It's your girl Amarachi, and I'm here to give my thoughts on the latest episode of Married to Medicine. Let's get into the episode. But before we get into the episode, I just want to quickly touch on the fires that are happening in LA. And I just want to say that I'm praying and I'm sending out positive vibes, and I'm praying for those that were affected, even those that were not directly affected, but are like in the surrounding areas. I'm praying for everyone, and I know that many people lost their childhood homes. Many people, there were some family members that were lost. And my prayers and thoughts goes out to everyone that was affected, or anyone that has family members that were affected. And I'm praying that there's going to be a solution from the government very soon. But I just wanted to get that out there and let everyone know that you guys are in my prayers. But um, after saying all of that, I'm gonna go ahead and get into the review for Married to Medicine. So, yeah. Okay. So, Married to Medicine. Wow. So, Jackie and Simone, the ladies are driving up to Heavenly's lake house for Zachary's going away dinner. Zachary's getting ready to go to dental school. So, Heavenly and the family are having like a little dinner for him prior to him getting away. Side note, at that dinner, I was wondering, like, was it just the cast of Married to Medicine, or were there other family members, like Heavenly and Dr. Damon's family members that were there? We just didn't see them. But I was like, wow. I was just like, okay, so you just had a going away dinner just with the cast? I was like, okay. So the ladies were all coming. Cecil, Simone, and Jackie, they were riding together. And in the car, Dr. Jackie is relating to Cecil and Simone how, Phaedra is not really coming through. So she had to recruit Dr. Heavenly. Well, she didn't recruit Dr. Heavenly. She said when she was telling Dr. Heavenly that some of like the issues that she's having with Phaedra not being forthcoming, Phaedra not responding the way she feels she needs to, Dr. Heavenly stepped in and said, well, what would you need me to do? So Dr. Heavenly became co-chair. Okay. Then in the other car is Quad's I was about to say Quad's husband. Quad's man and Phaedra. And Phaedra brings up the Met Gala is on Saturday. So Quad decides to tell her, well, the ladies have been talking because you ain't really been doing nothing, but you just is a whole lot of words and not a lot of action. So the ladies have been talking. So she put Phaedra on game. They get to the lake house and they're walking down. Quad is holding King's hand. Then Quad tells Phaedra, Phaedra, you need a hand? Okay, go ahead and hold the man's hand. And then me and Quad peeped that at the same time. The next thing you know, King and Phaedra are holding hand. No, she told Phaedra to go ahead and hold onto King's arm because, the lake house is on a hill, so they had to walk down the hill. The next thing you know, King and Phaedra holding hand. I said, whoa. I was like, wait, she didn't say hold his hand. And that's the Quad said, I said hold the man arm, not his hand, goddammit. I was like, I clocked that too. So they all get there. They're greeting Heavenly. Simone tells Zachary, make sure you get money from us. Zachary talking about something. Oh, I don't need your money. I said, boy, what? Me and Dr. Heavenly was like, what? You better take that money. What you mean we don't need your money? Somebody's offering you money for graduation. You better take that money or hush your mouth. Shit. But yeah. So the ladies split. The ladies are upstairs and the men are downstairs. They get to talking. Of course, they Toya comes up. Toya's like, now Quad, what did you do to get a Rolls Royce? You ain't got no baby. You ain't got no ring. Like, what did you do to get a Rolls Royce? Quad was like, well, like, he just wanted to buy me a Rolls Royce. There was like no caveat to it. So the ladies are all speculating that Quad was like, probably giving some good head. That's why she was able to get a Rolls Royce. But they were just shooting the shits. So Toya decides to bring up the fact that Contessa and Sweet Tea were absent, which is understandable because this is Heavenly's son's graduation. So this is not something that you want to like start cussing somebody out, start having fights. Remember the last time these people were together, like there was a fight literally broke out. So I wasn't really understanding why Toya felt like, oh, the ladies were being singled out. I don't think they were being singled out. Heavenly was intentional on who she invited to that event because, mind you, that's her son's event. This is like she's celebrating a milestone in her son's life, going off to dental school. Like, I don't want no foolery there. So she tells Phaedra that, Phaedra shouldn't be planning, she can't plan no more trips because the trip that she planned was for them to, get closer together, but they're farther apart, like they're not together. I was like, that's not Phaedra's fault. Phaedra cannot force these ladies to like put their differences aside. All she did was plan the trip. You can lead a horse to the water, but you cannot force the horse to drink. So I was like, I was like, why are you putting that on Phaedra? But whatever, go off. And so the ladies start talking about, so Toya tells Phaedra to, no, Toya tells Dr. Heavenly that she needs to apologize to Contessa about the your mama comment. And Dr. Heavenly says she's thinking about it. She might apologize. And then Toya said, no, I don't want you to think about it. I need you to do it. And then Heavenly said, well, I don't want to promise to do something and not deliver, like Phaedra. referring to Phaedra not coming through for Dr. Jackie. So Phaedra gets offended, but Phaedra she's a confessional gangster. I kind of wish a lot of things that Phaedra says in a confessional, she would just say it to the person's face. So she basically said that why is Dr. Jackie like, throwing her under the bus, that she's helping Dr. Jackie out, that Dr. Jackie is only doing this because of the beating that she got last year based on that comment that she made about African American pregnant women basically overreacting like during pregnancy. So because this year for the Met Gala, Jackie says the proceeds will go to For Kira For Mom. For Kira For Mom I actually remember reading about that when this happened. She was a mom after she was pregnant, delivered a baby. Then afterwards, she had complications, and I believe that she passed away. So it's her husband that, created the charity in her name and is helping to spread awareness of like postpartum issues and stuff like that. I believe that's what it was for Care for Mom. So I believe, correct me if I'm wrong. So she says that in the confessionals, and she tells, now remember that Phaedra says that the goal is to raise 100K, and Heavenly is like, where are we gonna get this 100K at? So Phaedra's like, well, these ladies act like I'm afraid to write $100,000 check. I'm like, Phaedra, okay, you got it like that? Shit. I mean, you do got multiple jobs. So she says, well, like these bitches, like I'm not afraid to write no checks, something along the fact. And then the ladies was like, what you mean by these bitches? Like, we're all professionals. We're all in the same income tax bracket. So Phaedra felt offended, but she does like that. It's like of course, she's not gonna tell the ladies like how she truly feels. That's kind of like one thing I don't like about Phaedra. When you say something to her, she'll just be like, and then she'll just she'll just, but then in the confessionals, that's like where she'll going on you. So next scene, we get Sweet Tea visits Phaedra at her house, and Phaedra is relating to Sweet Tea what happened at Zachary's going away dinner. And Phaedra tells Sweet Tea that Dr. Heavenly is thinking of apologizing to Contessa about what she said about the your mama comment. So T gets a little, I don't know, perturbed, saying that, so why can't Heavenly want to have a discussion with me, but she's willing to have a discussion with Contessa. And I'm going to say this again, T. Heavenly and Contessa had a friendship. They have history. So yes, Heavenly might feel like, okay, I went a little too far with Contessa. Whereas with you and Heavenly you guys don't have a friendship. You guys don't have a history. So she's not really invested. She doesn't feel like she needs to come to you on like on apologies on an apology tour. And even T was like, yeah, like it seems like Heavenly doesn't respect me. Yes, Heavenly does not respect you. Heavenly does not respect your marriage. She does not respect your husband. So you guys should just do with that what you will, but stop looking for an apology from Heavenly. Like it's not gonna come. So you guys are just move on. So oh, and then also at I forgot to mention at Zachary's party, dinner party, Dr. Jackie mentions that Curtis is away at Florida. And Toya makes a joke like he's always away, just like Phaedra. I was like, Curtis is always going somewhere, man. Shit. But hey, they making that money, and hopefully he ain't doing nothing he's not supposed to do. But Curtis is always going somewhere. Now, next thing we get to is the Met Gala. Everybody's getting ready. We see that Contessa is getting ready, and she's gonna bring her daughter with her. And what Contessa had on, I was like, I don't know where Contessa thought she was going. It was not no Met Gala. When I'm thinking of Met Gala, when I think of a gala, I'm thinking of like, an evening gown. You can show like a little cleavage, you can show a little shoulder, but an evening gown, like, that at least comes down to like your ankles. That's what I'm thinking about. Contessa looked like she was about to go to a club. Her hair looked great. Her daughter looked great. Contessa's hair looked great, but the dress, it was like a bright forest green dress. It was like one shoulder, and it looked like she was going to a club, to be honest. And then Dr. Simone looked like she was about to be laid to rest. I said, what is this? I was like, Simone, what do you have on? Simone, oh my God. I love how on Beverly Hills we like to talk about how Garcelle can't dress. I feel like Garcelle and Simone, they're like neck and neck on not being it. I feel like on every franchise, there's always like a housewife that's not, well, Mary Manson is not really a housewife, but there's all Bravo. There's always someone that cannot dress. But I was like, Simone, what are you wearing? Simone literally looked like she was about to like just be laid to rest. All she had to do like, that was all Simone needed. But the guys are together, Cecil, Greg, and Dr. Greg and Dr. Damon. So Dr. Damon decides to, open up the door for Dr. Greg. And he's telling Dr. Greg, how like the ladies get into it. And, they say a bunch of stuff to each other, but they shouldn't let it affect their friendship, that they've always been cool. And he would like to continue being cool. And he doesn't want what his wife said to Dr. Gregory to deter their friendship. So Dr. Gregory accepted it, and they both shook hands. But while they were in the midst of talking, Dr. Heavenly comes to like, grab Dr. Damon to say like, let's go take a photo. And Cecil was like, whoa, like we're getting to something here. We're getting through here. So Dr. Heavenly was like, oh, I'm sorry. And then she left Dr. Damon's hand and she walked away. And yeah, so now Dr. Gregory and Dr. Damon, they're back to being cool, which is, nice. I was like, wow, like you see how guys, they just, it didn't, I was like, wow, some guys are just easygoing. It's us ladies that's like, it takes us like a year and like change just to, I say, wow. If a lot of ladies could do that, just be like, you know what, I'm tired of fighting, like let's just call it what it is. Let's move on. Let's not let what happened in the past to deter us from this friendship. That would be great. Like, well, then that means there will be like no housewife show, because but hey, that's why they're men. Now Dr. Heavenly. Phaedra's date is Dwight E. Banks. You guys remember Dwight E. Banks from like the earlier seasons of Housewives? Dwight is always coming through for Phaedra. Like, because I remember like even like on Housewives when Phaedra would throw like her parties, Dwight would be like the one to plan it for her, introduce her, would be the MC and everything. Dwight is always coming through. So that's Phaedra's date. They come, and I think this was like an introduction to a new cast member, Dr. Mimi, because the way they were showing her and the way Simone was going around introducing her to everybody, I was like, okay, it's because I know there was supposed to be another cast member. So I think this is going to be her, Dr. Mimi. Anila and her husband were there. Who else was there? We also saw Dr. Alicia. Dr. Alicia was there. Also on Instagram, I saw that Kendra, was it Kendra? Was it Kendra? I believe so. She was there, but they didn't show her on the show, but I saw her on Instagram. She posted a picture of the Met Gala on her Instagram page. I was like, and look, she's pregnant again. I was like, okay, congratulations, mama. Okay. So they were there. So now they get to the auction. And sidebar, there's something I wanted to add. So the goal was 100,000, right? And well, they didn't. Spoiler alert, they didn't meet the $100,000 goal. But my thing is, Dr. Jackie, don't you have celebrity clients? Didn't you solicit from your clients to help with donations? Because I'm confused why it was so hard, because they ended up raising what, 50,000, I believe. Was it 50,000 or was it 47,000? So I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, Dr. Jackie has celebrity clientele, so you couldn't solicitate for your clients to, help to basically like donate some money for the cause. But anyway, we get to the auction. Dwight is leading the auction. The first one was like a trip to Morocco, and it was just hotel, no flights, and they were trying to start off at $4,000. Dr. Simone and I had the same reaction. I was like, how are you trying to auction off a trip and it's only hotels, and you trying to start off at $4,000? I was like, y'all better bring that price down. So that's to bring the price down. And then they auctioned off a O-Shot that Dr. Jackie offers O-Shot. I don't remember who got it. There was also Dr. Kieran's facial treatment. That was also one of the auctions. And there was this, I don't know, like a bowl that Quad made. Her and Heavenly went to, I don't know, they went somewhere and Quad made it. Like she had to blow into like a tube to form the shape. They auctioned that off. And then last but not least, it was a date. No, there was a date with Quadra. Lord have mercy. A date with Phaedra. And Dr. Heavenly was trying to be messy. So she gonna try to start it off at $4,000, and it was just like crickets. She was like, oh, is that too much for the people? And then they had to, so they were trying to like bring it down. And there was a guy that came out, and he basically bought the date. He bought that auction. So apparently he said that him and Phaedra went on a date like 25 years ago, and it didn't lead to anything. But he was like, he'll always have love for Phaedra. And then he said, well, since I'm putting out, Phaedra better put out. I said, okay. So he got that date with Phaedra. And then Quad had like, one of Quad's auctions was a cooking lesson for 2 people. And she was trying to start off at $3,000. And then Dr. Gregory made a joke like, even her, like, I don't think Quad's cooking is worth $3,000. My wife's cooking is worth $3,000. And then T was like, stop lying. I was like, that reminds me. Earlier in the episode, when they were getting ready for the Met Gala, King came into the room where Quad was getting ready. And Quad asked King, so are you gonna say anything to my ex-husband? And King was like, no, like, I mean, there's nothing to say. Like, you're not living in the past. Are you living in the past? I didn't understand why Quad asked him that question. I was like, is there an issue with Dr. G that hasn't been put on that, we haven't seen? Because if it's just because, oh, Dr. G is saying stuff, well, Quad, you're also saying stuff. You've also said stuff about his wife. You've also, like, made comments about Dr. G. So if Dr. G is making comments about you, like, as long as it's not derogatory, as long as he's not calling you out your name, I don't really see why you felt the need to ask, or why you felt the need for your new man to step to your old man. Like, I don't understand. Unless there's something that we're missing that we haven't seen. Because we have to remember this is an edited show. So unless there's something we haven't seen, I didn't quite understand why Quad asked him that question. Also, while they were at Zachary's dinner, Dr. Damon was giving King advice and told King, like, try to stay out of the woman drama, because the woman drama sometimes don't suck you in, but do your best to stay out of it. So that was, I mean, and it's so crazy because when Dr. Damon was giving King that advice, Eugene was just like, oh, you gonna take that advice? Like looking at Dr. Damon like, oh, you gonna take that advice? Because, right now you and one of the homies ain't getting along too much because of what your wife said. So, but yeah. And then, but after that, everything went well. But then when they finished the auction, they decided to go off and count. And I believe it was 50. You know what? I'm going to check and make sure I put the right amount. Well, basically, the cocoa of the matter is they did not reach their $100,000 goal. So they had to, I think Phaedra had to shell out $47,000. So Phaedra was like, like $47,000 ain't nothing to her. That's chicken change to her. I was like, okay, girl, you got it like that? Shit. Can you write me a $47,000 check? Shit. So they wrote on the fake check. They wrote for Kira, 4 moms. Then they wrote the $100,000. Then they presented it to Charles. They presented it to Charles, and Charles gave a speech thanking the ladies for what they've done, and that he hopes that he'll continue to bring awareness. And that was really the end of the episode. I mean, there wasn't really too much. Actually, yeah. Sweet Tea's dress, oh my God. Sweet Tea looked like she was going to like a Sweet 16 party. I was just like, what are you wearing? Like, the person that I was, out of the ladies, the person that I would say was best dressed was Quad and Phaedra. Yes. I mean, Dr. Heavenly's dress was also nice, but Sweet Tea, I don't know what the hell she had. Even Dr. Heavenly said, Sweet Tea's dress looked like it came from Heavenly's Beauty. It's so crazy how like Heavenly will even throw shots at herself, even at her own business. And then, like I said, Simone's dress, I don't know what the hell Simone had on. And it was, Dr. Jackie's dress, I couldn't really see her dress very well, because like her dress kind of like blended in with her skin tone, so I couldn't really see it well, but it wasn't given. But Quad's dress was okay, Phaedra's dress was okay. But I'm trying to think, is there anything else that I missed that stands out in this episode that I missed? I don't think so. But you guys, let me know what your thoughts are on the episode. If there's anything that I missed, don't forget to add it in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in my next review. Bye. Hey y'all, so as I'm editing this video, I realized there was a point that I forgot to make in the video that I had while watching the episode. I'm like, so Dr. Jackie, Phaedra is right. You do feel some type of way. That's why you decided to, do this charity for Kira, 4 moms, to try to clean up what you said about African-American women during pregnancy. So I feel like you should be the one to shell up most of the money. Out of that 100,000, you probably should be like giving up at least half of that. At least like 50 grand of that should be coming out of your pocket. Cause like, come on now. I know your castmates might not hold you accountable. They might just try to like breeze under it and just like act like it's water under the bridge. But I still did not forget, as a mother of 2, I am so thankful that my doctors, like my caregivers, while I was throughout my 9 months of pregnancy, for both pregnancies, when I had labor and delivery, everybody took my concerns serious. Nobody like ever felt like, oh, she's just putting on. Everybody took my concerns serious. And even when I was pregnant, I thought like I was having issues with the pregnancy. Got to the hospital, they did a fetal monitoring, everything, and it turns out to be nothing. And the nurses and the doctors encouraged me, like, if I feel like anything is not right, come back, because it's better for them to check and find out that it's nothing than for me to say, oh, it's nothing, I'm just overreacting, and then it ends up being something that could have been prevented. So Dr. Jackie, that comment that you made, I'm not going to forget it. Your castmates might try to act like, oh, Jack, that's not really who Jackie is. No, Jackie, you showed your ass in that comment. So yes, you should have been the one to shell up more money. Okay, not Phaedra. Yes, we all know that Phaedra is a lot. We all know that Phaedra acts like she has more connection. I don't know. I can't even say she acts. Maybe she does, maybe she doesn't. But we know that Phaedra can put like 10 or 20. But you should be the one coming out of your pocket more, because you're the one that made that statement. It's your guilt that made you want to raise money for that charity. I mean, I'm not saying that you shouldn't have. It's a good thing that you are. It's going to help Charles to continue raising awareness. But you should have been the one to put more money. At least put 50 grand of your money. Put up or shut up. Because that comment that you made, I'm not going to forget it. And I'm still looking at you sideways because of that. But yeah, y'all. So that was the thought that I had while watching the episode. But as I was editing, I realized that I didn't mention that in the video. All right, but y'all, bye.